Houston rap legend Bun B and his wife Queenie giving emotional testimony in court today. The couple described a home invasion that happened back in 2019.
Yeah, this story made big headlines back then, and you may remember that's when the rapper ended up shooting the armed robber. Now that man is set to be sentenced for his crime. Sherman Chow joins us from the courthouse with what's next in this case and some interesting stuff in the courtroom today. Sherman.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah, actually, court resumes tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. It has been a very emotional and tense day here in the 209th. Rapper Bun B, whose legal name is Bernard Freeman, and his wife Chevalier both testified about that 2019 attack at their Houston home. 25-year-old DeMonte Ailey Jackson has pled guilty to aggravated robbery and burglary with intent to commit another offense. Well, Jackson's parents testified on his behalf, saying that he has an IQ of 81 and mental health issues. The Freemans say that Jackson forced his way into their home, put a gun to Mrs. Freeman's head to rob them and steal their car. Bun B, who was upstairs, grabbed a gun, came downstairs, opened fire on Jackson, who by then was behind the wheel of a car in the family garage.
I like to shoot back and I proceeded to unload my weapon. Well, I wasn't sure if I unloaded my weapon. And then he fell out of the car, he threw his gun down. I started fighting with him. My wife came through the garage door. She started screaming. Tell me.
Yeah, you ain't gotta ask. No! Hang on, everybody go.
After that outburst, there was a brief recess and court resumed. Jackson's father said his son was a standout high school football player who, quote, had everything, including 2 cars and a moped, but not disciplined because he wanted to be a friend, not a father. Jackson was wounded in that shootout and then fled to a hospital where he was then later arrested. 2 more defense witnesses are scheduled to testify tomorrow morning, after which the judge will issue a sentence.
She can't communicate, and I get so angry all again because she didn't deserve it. She didn't ask for this. She didn't ask for this.
Alright, so people want me to believe that after Bun B spoke at the sentencing for this guy, DeMonte Jackson, who is now getting sentenced for the crime where he broke into Bun B's house and put a gun to his wife's head. Right, so he's charged with attempted robbery with a deadly weapon, attempted murder, and several other charges in this case. And Bun B got on stand and he spoke about what is called like a victim's impact statement, where the impact of everything that took place on that day, the way they were traumatized, the way that his wife was traumatized, speaking on how she's unable to go back into the house after the day after the whole robbery, saying she's never been there since then, how it's just affected her as a person, and it's hard for her to shake that situation that happened to her, and she constantly relives that moment and those things that traumatized her. And can you imagine, as a husband, your job is to be a protector, a provider, to make them feel safe and put them in the most protected situation that you can. Like, that's human nature. That's animal nature, right? As a basic common denominator between us and animals, right? You want to make sure that you protect yours and you give them that comfort and that safety. Now, as a man, he was stripped of that because his wife is forever living in terror and forever living in fear. So I can imagine the amount of anger that he has inside of him, the way that he probably would love to have 5 minutes alone in a room with that man to unleash his fury. But at this point in his life, Bun B is probably like 55, almost 60 years old, and he's not in the streets anymore. He's a tax-paying civilian. He's been a famous rapper for at least 25 years. So it's not even a situation where people are, and I think this has to be like a younger thing, and it's people who think, oh, he's snitching because man, fuck all of that shit. When it comes to family and protecting your wife and your loved ones, all of that goes out the window. And if you're one of those who stick to the rules of the street niggas who created these rules when they was 18, 19 years old, living in their mama house with nothing to lose, then you're a fucking idiot at 44 or 50 years old going through all of these motions. Bun B had to shoot this man after he put that gun pressed between his wife's eyes on her forehead and had her in fear of her life.
He put the gun in my eye, in between my eyes, and it was cold. Yes. He said, give me everything you got.
And you know this dude was out of his goddamn mind. They said his IQ level was really low. And from the pictures that they showed, he did this shit in the daytime. You know how brazen you gotta be to do something like this in the daytime and not have any fear of repercussions, because that could possibly happen. Like, you have to just take all of that into account when you looking at the type of person that he made this statement against and that he put away. Like, and that also factors into her fear. Like, it's not even a thing like where it happened in the middle of the night and she got to worry about things that go bump in the middle of the night. This is a dude who came into their house in broad daylight and did that. So that means that fear has to be on the table at all times. It's not even a late night situation. You make sure all the windows is locked, make sure all of the doors is tight before we go to bed situation. No, this was like a crazy nigga wandered into our crib and he tried to end possibly our lives. He was shooting back at Bun. They had an exchange of gunfire. And Bun on his own level has had to deal with a certain amount of trauma from this. Let's keep it a buck. But all niggas look at it as like, oh, street shit, this nigga snitching. Man, he an old man. He did what he had to do to protect his family. Fuck y'all niggas talking about. So homie sitting up here with Heartless tattooed on the side of his face, that's who he was supposed to hold it down for? Or was he supposed to hold it down for Queenie? Y'all let me know. Food for thought. Y'all do the dishes. Y'all get in the comments. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping or what.